Having just read Genesis chapter 11, the Tower of Babel, a few things jump out at me. So the very first verse said, at one time the whole world spoke a single language and used the same words. So this, I guess, would be obvious because the first family, Noah's family, according to the Bible, were pretty much father, son, and in-laws and daughter-in-laws and things like that. So they would have all been one family and very likely spoken the same language because the husband and wife were very likely from the same lineage, parents-wise. So the languages would have been the same. Verse 4 says, the people said, let's build a great city with a tower that reaches to the skies, a monument to our greatness. And that was frowned upon. Whether this is because of the ambition to build a tower or whether it was because this tower was built as a monument to their greatness, not to the greatness of God. Verse 6 says, that has God saying, look, he said, if they can accomplish this when they have just begun to take advantage of their common language and political unity, just think of what they will do later. Nothing will be impossible for them. So there's a lot to unpack from this verse 6. So the first thing is we see that humans are starting to build things to their own greatness and not to the greatness of God on the one hand. But also looking here, it says in verse 6 that humans can accomplish pretty much anything, if they speak a common language and have political unity. Nothing will be impossible to them. So it just means that if we can use that greatness within us and align it to things that will glorify God, there might be like a really wonderful mixture somewhere in here. They were building the tower to the greatness of themselves. I'm thinking now, what if they were building this tower to glorify God? Would that have been pleasing in God's sight? And if it would have been at the time, imagine what they could have done, because nothing would have been impossible to them. It then looks at the journey from Shem to Abram. And in verse 31, it says, Terah took his son, Abram, his daughter-in-law, Sarai, and his grandson, Lot, and left Ur of the Chaldeans to go to the land of Canaan. But they stopped instead at the village of Haran and settled there. Terah lived for 205 years and died while still at Haran. So it just speaks to having that journey as well in my mind. So Canaan was the destination, effectively, and they set off, did the right things, grabbed all the people, and were heading for Canaan. But they got tired, I'm assuming, or got distracted and stopped at Haran, and then Terah died there, having never really completed that journey. So once we set our minds, our sights on something good, even as we start to fatigue, slow down, recuperate, but just continue towards that goal. Because that little rest that you stop for, you may think it's for a day or two, but you may end up settling there and dying there, just like Terah did in verse 32. Just my thoughts. Any comments, questions, please pop them in the comment section.